Hey you guys, welcome back to another day of our 7-day yoga challenge. Thanks for joining me again today. We've got kind of a quick one, but we're gonna keep it moving. We got a little bit of plank and side plank work today, so I'm excited. And we are going to start off at the back end of our mats as we get going this for this practice. And instead of our regular mountain pose, we're going to take our feet to about mat width apart and just point the toes slightly outwards. The very first thing that we're going to do is come into our squat or our deep squat today. And so just bending the knees, sinking the hips down in between. Now we've got a couple of options here. If this isn't something that's comfortable for you, feel free to play a little bit with the foot positioning. So like I said, I like mine to be at mat width and my toes point out a little bit. That works for me. If that doesn't work for you, you could take them a little bit wider. You're going to feel a little bit more of a stretch, or a little bit narrower, and you could even lift those heels up. From there, you can press those elbows to the inside of the knees. You can place the hands down for a little extra balance, or if being this deep into a squat bothers your knees, you can just keep it at a squat and come into our next movement as we adjust. So starting off right there, taking just a moment, one nice deep breath. Then we're going to inchworm it out. So we're going to plant those hands, inchworm it out, turn those heels up. Those feet are still nice and wide. We're in our high push-up plank position. So taking just a moment here, activating the core. I'm going to step those feet in a little bit narrower. And then we're going to press the hips up and back, downward facing dog. A little stretch for the back of the legs, bringing the ears between the shoulders, maybe pedaling out those heels, taking a couple moments here. In this first lower body stretch, this first inversion of the day. From here, we're going to take it to our child's pose. Knees come down wide, hips sink back towards the heels. Nice little stretch for the lower back, for the shoulders, for the chest. Taking a couple of nice deep breaths there. If it feels good, maybe you walk those hands over to the right and the left sides of your mat, just to find that little bit of extra length through the opposite side body. If you did find one side and you haven't switched yet, just make sure you even up and hit that other side. And then we're going to come into our Cobra. Bringing those hips up. I'm just going to pull my knees underneath my hips because that feels better for my Cobra. And then pressing my hips forward. You've got Cobra as an option, or Baby Cobra, where a little bit more of the upper body is on the mat, a little less intense for the lower back. Either option is fabulous. Just taking a nice deep breath here. From there, we're going to take it back to our high push-up plank. So curling those toes under and just lifting those hips right to that plank position. Like I said, we've got side planks today as well. We're going to take another moment in this regular plank. And then I'm going to take my feet just slightly wider, set both of my heels down to the left, take all of my weight onto that left arm, and open up that right side. So nice and long from that wrist all the way up to those fingertips, keeping those hips nice and high. If you need that extra little bit of support, you can always drop that bottom knee. We're going to bring it through center, same thing other side. Right hand's going to come down, heels are going to come up over through center, setting them down to the right side, lifting my left arm nice and long, hips are high. Once again, if you need that extra support, that right knee can come down to the mat. Bringing that left hand back down, those heels back to center. We're going to inchworm to the front of our mat this time. So walking those feet up to meet those hands, forward fold. And then we'll bring it into our chair pose. Our inhale sweeps our arms up, sinks our hips back. Nice long spine, nice long arms. Inhale stands us up tall. Exhale circles the arms down and around. I'm going to take a big step back, making it back to the back side of our mat. Taking those feet nice and wide, we're back to the top, down into that squat. Brings us to that inchworm out. Stepping those feet in, bringing it to our downward facing dog. Down to child's pose, knees wide, hips back towards the heels. Once again, if you'd like to walk those hands side to side, feel free to. If that doesn't feel good for you, feel free to keep them right where they are. If you found that first side, just making sure you even up and hit that second side. And then we're going to bring it to our Cobra. So bringing those hips up and over, pressing them down towards the mat. You can have those long arms or those bent arms. Back up to our high push-up plank. Turn the toes under, bring those hips to even. Taking those feet a little wider. Here comes that first side. Turn that left heel, or those heels down to the left. That right arm lifts. Bringing it down through center. Same thing other side. And back down to center. One more time into that plank. Fabulous. From here, downward facing dog. Inchworm those feet in. Forward fold. Here comes our chair pose. Sweep the arms up, sink the hips back. Next inhale stands us up tall. And circle the arms down and around. Awesome. Let's take it back. We're going to go through twice more. Feet nice and wide. Deep Buddha squat. Inchworming it out. Hands meet the mat. Taking it to our high push-up plank. Feet can step in. Hips up and back. Downward facing dog. Knees down wide. Hips back towards the heels. Child's pose. Hips come forward. Cobra. And back up to that plank. Left hand down, right arm opens, side plank. Through center, same thing, second side. Back down to center into that plank. Downward facing dog. Hinge from those feet forward to meet those hands, forward fold. Into that chair to finish off this third round. Sink those hips back. Arms nice and long, spine nice and long. Inhale stands us up. Exhale circles the arms down and around. One more time through. Taking our big steps back to the back of our mat. Feet come wide, toes point out, down into that squat. Walking it out to our high push-up plank position. Downward facing dog. Knees wide, hips back towards the heels, child's pose. And press the hips forward, Cobra. Back into that plank. We've got that final set of those side planks and that front plank. Shoulders are over wrists. Keep that core nice and strong, nice and long. Left hand stays down, right arm opens up, side plank. Last time on this side. Bringing it down through center, same thing, second side. Back down to center, one final hold in that high push-up plank position. And downward facing dog. Inchworm those feet forward to meet those hands. Chair pose, sweeps the arms up, sinks the hips back. Final couple moments of work here. Keep those knees bent, keep that spine nice and long. One more inhale. On this last exhale, can you get an extra centimeter further into this chair pose? Next inhale stands us up tall. And exhale circles the arms down and around. One final deep breath. Inhale takes the arms up. Palms meet. Exhale pulls them down to heart center. Thanks for joining me for another day of our 7 days of yoga practice. The light in me honors the light in you, bowing as we say namaste.